day is the amount of time it takes the Earth to rotate once on its axis. A month is approximately the time it takes the Moon to complete its full cycle, from new moon to new moon. A year is based on the time it takes the Earth to travel once around the Sun. The trouble was that the unit of time based on the movements of the Moon and the Sun didn't divide evenly into one another. It takes a little less than 365 1/4 days for the Earth to make one revolution around the Sun. And a month is about 29 1/2 days long. The Romans began basing their calendar on the idea that 12 lunar months make a year. Each lunar month, from new moon to new moon, is about 29 1/2 days. So the Roman year came to 354 days. But the true solar year, the time it takes the Earth to circle the Sun, is just under 365 1/4 days. The Romans made up for the difference by adding an extra month every few years. When Julius Caesar ruled Rome, he found that the calendar was wrong by 80 days. The calendar said it was spring but the season was really midwinter. Caesar asked the advice of a mathematician, Sosihenus, who told him the real year was almost 365 1/4 days long. So Caesar ordered that each year should be 365 days with extra day added in February every fourth year to make the calendar come out right. Leap years would always be divisible by 4. Caesar gave up also the lunar month and set a month's length at 30 or 31 days. Only February remained less than 30 days long. Caesar started his new calendar called Julian calendar in 46 BC. This year was referred to as the year of confusion. Some people believe he moved New Year's Day from March 1 to January 1. He added 2 months between November and December, and another after February. As a result, the year 46 BC lasted 445 days. After that, however, his 365-day calendar ran so smoothly that it kept time with the seasons for many centuries. But there was still a small mistake in this Julian calendar. The sun's year is really 11 minutes and 14 seconds shorter than the 365 1/4 day year recommended by Sosihenus. In 16,000 years, 1,600 years, these added up to 10 days, so that the vernal equinox, the first day of spring, when the sun has reached the celestial equator and day and night are equal in length, occurred earlier and earlier. By 1582, it fell on March 11 instead of March 21. Pope Gregory XIII took the advice of the astronomer Christopher Clavius. He corrected the mistake by dropping 10 days, so that the day after October 4, 1582 was October 15. To keep the error from happening again, he decreed that century years, the first year in each century, even though divisible by 4, should not have the extra day in February unless they could be divided by 400. This AD 1900 was not a leap year, but AD 2000 will be. Catholic countries adopted the Gregorian calendar named for Pope Gregory, but Protestant and Greek Orthodox countries did not. 170 years later, England and her American colonies found that their calendar had slipped away from the sun's time by 11 days. They dropped these days in 1752, adopting the Gregorian calendar. Thus, Washington's birthday is February 22, New Style, but he was really born on February 11, Old Style. Russia did not change its calendar until 1918, and Romania not until 1924. That is why you may find two different dates for same historical events. People are still trying to reform the calendar, but so far we continue to use the Roman calendar as it was improved by Pope Gregory XIII. The international date line is an irregular north-south line that runs along or close to the 188th meridian. It extends from the North Pole to the South Pole. This line separates the region of the earliest and latest standard.